Hi everyone, Happy New Year! My name is Michelle, also known as Cheesecake and Cross Stitch, so welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome if you're here for the first time. Today I'm going to do my long-awaited Advent review. I had intended to do this between Christmas and New Year's, but unfortunately I started feeling poorly around Christmas Eve, just like what I thought was like a cold, but it actually turned out to be more like the flu, so I've been quite poorly, and my voice would not have been nice to listen to, so I've had to delay it, so I'm really sorry. So it's not going to be a really long video, just going to be a short one, doing all my, well, a short-ish one I should say, with all my advents. I'm just going to review them, tell you what I liked about them, what I disliked, if there was anything I disliked, if they're value for money, just give you all the lowdown so that this year I should say, next Christmas, if you wish to have advent calendars, you can make a really informed choice based on what you've seen me open. So without further ado, I'm going to start. I have got notes that I'm going to be referring to, so I do apologise if I'm looking down. But yeah, we'll crack on. So we're going to start with Maloka Designs. So Maloka Designs was a 12-day advent, and it was £79.95. It included 5 patterns, which were the otter, the panda, the parrot, a bauble and a turkey. There were 3 full kits, which were the otter, panda and parrot. They came with matching needle minders as well, and then there was bonus patterns of bauble and turkey, which was slightly smaller, still great size. All the Ada and the Floss came, and I think we had extra Ada in red as well, as in just an extra pack. And yeah, so I think that this advent calendar is such good value for money. I think it's a very reasonable price for what you get. I mean, you get 3 full patterns plus the bonus too. And the patterns were just absolutely outstanding. So I have got my iPad, so I'm hoping this will work, to show you 2 of my absolute faves, because I only got to flash you before. So I'm going to show you 2 of my faves, which I am intending to stitch. So I'll show you the panda first. There we go. Oh, he's gone small, sorry about that. There we are, large again. And then we've got the otter. So these 2, when I, there we are. Beautiful, isn't he? When I opened these, I literally was so blown away. I wasn't expecting patterns as beautiful as that. I don't know why, because I've always wanted to stitch one of Maloka Designs patterns, but never got around to buying one, which is why I wanted to have the advent calendar. And like those 5 patterns are absolutely beautiful. I saw what was in last year's, so why I did not expect them to be this amazing, I don't know. So those are the 2 patterns that I liked the most. Maybe you guys can help me out by deciding which one I should stitch first, because I probably won't be able to stitch 2 of them with everything else that I've got going on for this year. So if you think that I should stitch the panda, please put a little panda emoji or write panda in the comments, or if you think that I should stitch the otter first, then put an otter emoji or write the word otter in the comments so that I can see which has the most, and then that is the one I'm gonna put in my stitchy pants. So those are my faves. If I had to pick a least favourite, it would be the turkey pattern, but it's beautiful. It's just not something that I would go to stitch. So I don't know if I'm gonna stitch that one or not, because of just everything else that I've got, and I've got like drawers full of patterns and stuff. So, but I definitely will be stitching the panda and the otter. I think, like I said, it's great value for money. If you were looking for a smaller advent calendar, you get loads of patterns for your money, so you could stitch them throughout the year if you wanted. They'd probably keep you quite set for quite a long time. So, and the needle minders were beautiful as well. So that's my lowdown on Maloka Designs. So next we will go to Poppy Patch, which was the Cottage Garden Threads Advent Calendar. So I ordered this quite late. It was £114, but I did it on a payment plan. So I did it on a 4-month payment plan. It contained 24 threads, and day 25 was a bonus prize, which was an embroidery chart, which I thought was a really nice touch. I wasn't expecting it because it's written up as a 24 day Floss Advent Calendar. So I'll show you the bonus chart, which we got on day 25, which I did show, I think, on my Advent opening. And then 2 of the flosses, which are my faves. So Bouquet and Anonymous. So my favourite colours are like pink, purple and blue. So you can see that they are pretty much that. Now, the pros of this advent calendar was you got 24 beautiful threads. So you could really like update your floss collection, especially if you want to collect or like have a full set of these beautiful flosses. The cons is you don't get to choose basically what your flosses are, so it's luck of the draw. And I think there was quite a lot of beiges or neutral floss, which I'm not naturally drawn to. But from my calculations, there was 12 neutrals and 12 brighter colours. I wouldn't necessarily say they were brights because there were some greens and stuff like that in there, which maybe would be natural colours, but not neutral colours. Neutrals are, like very beigey colours. Now neutrals they are gonna suit lots and lots of people. Loads of people really are drawn to neutral colours. It's just not for me. So it's a beautiful advent calendar. I think it's worth the money, and I'm very glad I got it. But I don't think I would get a Floss advent calendar like that again, just because of the lack of choice that you get with floss. I think what I might do next year is buy my own floss and like unwrap it. Do like my own advent box. I could like use one of my advents and put some, like get one a day. Sorry, excuse me. I've got this outlaying cough. So I am very glad I got it, but for that reason, I wouldn't get. I don't think I'd get a floss advent like that again. But I'm really pleased with it, and I'm happy I had it. So I'm going to grow my collection. I've got a subscription starting in April. It was supposed to be January, but Rachel from Talking Dog Sittery kindly moved it along for me because it's going to be the Daydream collection, which I won in a prize. So I've already got them. So it'd be really nice to add to my growing collection because they're really nice flosses. So next, Historical Sampler. So Historical Sampler costs £97, which I think is an absolute bargain. So that was just for the box on its own. And you also got the Robin stitch along in a PDF form, which I was unsure about whether I was going to get that because they have lots of options and I was getting myself confused with it. But there are options on there that you can choose to have the full kit. And you can buy the kit on its own without the box as well. So I think the Advent box is in place of their, their beautiful gift boxes that they do alongside their stitch alongs. I think it's kind of in place of that. And then you can choose whether you want to have the full kit or not. So for £97, I got a beautiful Advent calendar and a PDF of a beautiful stitch along. I think that's an absolute bargain. The stitch along is beautiful. I'm just over halfway done on that, and I am going to be stitching it on Festive Fridays because I love it so much. I'm sad I didn't get it finished for this Christmas, but December just was bonkers. So yeah, £97 for a stitch along and an advent is amazing in my books. So we got 6 patterns, which were beautiful, stunning actually. We got 18 stitchy items and 6 non-stitchy items. Now, my stats might be slightly different to other people's because I think some of the items people may or may not consider stitchy, but for my books, I had 18 stitchy items and 6 non-stitchy items. The non-stitchy items were 2 decorations. They were that beautiful Christmas tree, which was concertined and you could open up and stick it with the magnets. The really, really cute gonk that we had on day 24. Now I can't say this, the macaroni kit, and the gift tags, hand cream and hot chocolate. I think all of those non-stitchy gifts are beautiful. I wasn't unhappy with any of them. And obviously the stitchy items were just, that's what you're expecting to get in a cross-stitch advent calendar, and they were amazing. So my favourites were, so I've got, where have I put them? Here. Let's have a look. My favourites. I put aside some of my favourites. So, pattern-wise, I think we all know how much I like this. My face when I opened this gingerbread house was like, oh, I just, honestly, it's really, really stunning. I still look at it and think, oh, and this is going on my list of things to start stitching. Even though it's not Christmas anymore, I am going to be stitching lots of, I didn't get as many decorations and things done as I wanted this year. So part of my plans, which I will go in further in the next video, basically, I want to stitch more Christmas decorations. And so this is one of the first ones that I will be stitching. I think it's just so beautiful. Next pattern that I really, really like, well, I really like them all, but these are the 2 that stood out for me, is this biscorni. Now, I have actually got an aim to do my very first biscorni because I've never done one. So this is going to be my first biscorni, I think. And I can't wait to stitch that. Now, other favourite items was this. I loved this. Like, what stitcher does not like a tin, for a start? But then how genius is that, putting all of the like finishing items in here for our patterns that we got. I think that's a really, really well thought out gift. You can tell how much thought and effort behind these gifts are made, and that really blew me away. I really liked it. And I know finishing items are a bit hit or miss sometimes with people. For me, I love receiving them. I want to get better at finishing, and having, one of the things I really like about Historical Sampler and the Cotton and Twine subscription boxes is that you get everything you need to fully finish an item, plus the tutorials, like bargain if you tell me. And so having this as part of my advent calendar and presenting it in this way, in this beautiful tin, I just think it's just a really well thought out gift, and I really, really liked it. Other things, so I loved this. I thought this was a genius idea. So it's a needle holder, but it is really, really beautifully made. You can tell that's a high quality item. Again, the thoughtfulness that's gone in to deciding what to put into the advent calendar, you can just see is there. And then also I really liked this. Now, the reason why I really like this is because it's old fashioned. And when I first looked at it, I was like, I don't really understand this. But the more I looked at it, the more I was like, this is a genius gift to put in, because it looks really old fashioned and just vintage, and everything that we like as stitchers. So yeah, I just had to highlight that as one of my faves, because I think that's a genius gift as well, is to add something high quality item again. And finally, sorry, there were so many in this box that I liked. Our lovely gingerbread needle minder. I love Historical Samplers needle minders. They're so beautiful, and the 2 that we got given in this advent box are just stunning. So I'm a needle minder, what would you say, addict. So I collect them, and I really, really, really think that Historical Samplers needle minders are the ones that I'm next going to collect, because they're just so beautiful. really, really well made and strong as well. So yeah, and so I'm just going to give you a quick glimpse of this beautiful snowman. Now I didn't bring the finishing item with me, but I was absolutely blown away by the little easel. I thought that was really cute, which is why I did him. I haven't fully finished him yet, but he is on the list for a fully finish, and he will be on my tree. Well, not on my tree actually, he'll be on the side somewhere in a nice display. Yeah, so I am really, really, really happy with the Historical Sampler Advent Calendar. I think it is one of the best ones out there. Now, let's have a look at what I need. So if I had to pick a least favourite thing, and to be honest, I loved every single thing, it would be the gift tags. But they're so beautiful, those gift tags. I don't generally put gift tags on my presents, but I have seen a few people on Instagram making them into floss drops. And Laura from Butterfly Stitches 83, she's put them on to the floss ring that we got. So I might do that because I don't really want to give them away, they're so beautiful. So that's really the only con, and it's not really a con, to be honest. I really loved that advent calendar. I think it is value for money, and it is one that I would buy next year. Even though there's so many projects in there, I don't know if I'd ever get through them. But they're just the high quality items, the stitchy items, and then the additional extras that we got were really thought out as well, like things like hand cream. So Kate's not directly stitchy related, but it is, you know, we work with our hands and we work hard with our hands, and I work in the NHS, so I'm always washing my hands, so hand cream is always really welcomed. So beautiful gift. And like, you know, having a chocolatey luxury item like a hot chocolate, I would never say no to it in an advent calendar. So it is probably one of my well, it is one of my faves, not probably, and that is definitely an advent calendar I'm going to purchase next year, and I'm really limiting my advent calendars for next year, so that says something. I'd really recommend that one. So we will now move on to Geeky. So the Geeky Stitching Company is a lovely little small business run by Jess, and her advent calendar was non-Christmassy related this year. So she did do a Christmas box, which was Christmas related, but it was not an advent box. This is the advent box, and it cost £79.99. It was for 12 days, and it was a bargain in my books. So I'm going to show you some of my favourite items. So one of them was this gorgeous project bag. Now we knew that we were going to get this because she did a few spoilers to kind of get people enticed, but the artwork is so beautiful. And I actually have a bag, I think it says this is my stitchy bag, with kind of some of the same sort of like emblems and stuff. I really like this. It's a really good quality bag. Again, if I can get into it. Oh, she says, there we are. It's a bit stiff, but it's lovely. I think if I have a look at my notes, so we had 2 medium kits, 2 mini kits. All the items were stitchy related, so you can go back and have a look at my Advent 38 Days 1 to 12 and you'll see everything was stitching related. We had like scissors, we had needle minder, we had thread glass, we had floss drops from Kate Blanford. Everything was stitchy related. And my favourite kit, so there was 2 like mini kits and 2 larger kits, but my favourite one, again, I knew where I was getting this, was in my stitching era because I'm a big Taylor Swift fan, so that was nice to combine like 2 of my favourite things. I think what we got in the 12 days actually did equate to some of the stuff some of the advents that were 24. Kind of got the same amount, so very, very good value for money. The only thing, let me show you, the only thing that I didn't enjoy so much was the postcard. Now the artwork is beautiful, but I just don't really know what I would do with that. I mean, I might put it in my journal if I can fit it in, but it's quite big, so I don't know. Like I said, the arc is beautiful. I do really like it. It's just, I don't know what I would use it for. So that's the only con I have with that one. I think it is more for beginners to intermediate. I have loads of Jess's patterns now. It's not one that I think I would get next year, but I do really recommend it, especially if you are like a beginner, you're just starting out, because her patterns are really easy to follow. They're really beautiful, they're really cute. The only reason why I wouldn't get it is just because I've got so many of Jess's patterns waiting to stitch. So I'm going to stitch some of them next year, but I would never get through them. So that's the only reason why I wouldn't get it again. But I just think it is a really nice advent calendar, especially if you are beginner level. Beginner intermediate, I would say. So yeah, check it out. Check Jess out. I love Jess to bits, so I'm one of her biggest advocates. Check her out. And if you fancy that advent calendar, you liked all the bits in it that you saw in days 1 to 12, then go ahead, go and grab it, because I do recommend it. So that brings us to Caterpillar cross stitch. Right. So Caterpillar cross stitch, we had excuse me for my coughing. 3 kits spread across several days. Every item was stitchy related, which is different from previous 2 years. So I've had this advent calendar for 3 years, from the very first one to this one now. So in previous years there has been non-stitchy related items. Some have been lovely and some have been a bit strange. This year was all stitchy items. My favourites, I will show you. Oh, did I tell you how much it was? So it cost £109, and I bought my one in January because I think they release them really quickly for pre-order, so that they can calculate how much how much stuff they use and how much time. So my favourites, and I shall show you. This needle minder. And this needle minder. Now, I will forever be the biggest supporter of CCS's needle minders. They are absolutely stunning. The quality of them is just second to none. And they're beautiful. They're lovely. They're really well made. And I will always buy their I can't get words out today, needle minders, because they're just beautiful. There is a third one that was included, which was the daffodil bouquets, which was beautiful. I really liked it, but it was just those 2 stood out for me more. I also loved this on day 24. I think this is a beautiful item to include for any stitcher. Now, the only thing I would say is I got a pink tape measure, which is in round style, in year 1. So I actually have 3 tape measures because I got a tape measure for Boffy, but we're just talking about CCS. So I now have 2, because a lot of people will buy the same thing if they want to support the brand. So that would be, this is something that I really, really liked and I think is beautiful, and I'm going to use them because I've used my pink one to death. So having extra ones about so that you've got them in different places, you might want to take one to a retreat with you, or keep one in like a travel bag or something like that. But if I was to buy it again, then I'm looking at having a double item sometimes, and having double items of needle minders is fine, isn't it? Because they're new designs, they're different. This is it. Oh, there's a new design, I will say that, but it's kind of the same thing. So those 3 were my favourite gifts, and my least favourite gifts were these. And I think that's not a surprise to anybody, because my face, when I was doing the video, like I said, it was live, so not live, but you know what I mean? I opened it in front of the camera for the very first time, so you did see my reaction, and I don't think these are bad. I just wasn't expecting to have clips in an advent box, a luxury advent box. So that's my con, I suppose, and my the thing I like the least. I spread everything out of everything that I had, and I had a look at caterpillars, and I thought it was a nice selection of gifts. The patterns I think are nice. I don't think I'll stitch them myself personally. When I first opened them, other than the polar bear in the glow, which I do think is a really pretty design, I was disappointed. But reflecting back on it, I actually think they are lovely designs for beginners. I think anybody that's just started out in cross stitch or a few years in is going to adore them and think they're amazing and they'll be great. For me, I did not have that feeling with them. The bouquet of flowers is a really cute pattern, I thought. I thought it was a very odd choice to have it as the first pattern. So I think some of the feedback that was given from last year is that people wanted like a mix, and I completely understand that because it's really hard to stitch in December. Like, you get a bit done, but you're not getting anywhere near as done as what you were doing in September, October, November, because it's Christmas and you're busy and you're doing stuff. So having patterns to stitch in the new year is brilliant, isn't it? But sometimes you don't feel like you want to stitch Christmas because Christmas has been and gone. And so I understand the mix of it, but I just thought it was a very odd choice to put that pattern first. I personally would have put a Christmassy pattern so that people could start something Christmassy if they had time, and then the non-Christmassy patterns more towards the end or even in the middle somewhere, so that you've got something you look forward to for the spring months. So I just thought that was a very odd placement of not very thought out where it was being placed. I don't really understand where they were. Maybe they were thinking we'll put the showstoppers like towards the end, which I do get that as well. But I just thought it was an odd placement to put a spring pattern right in the beginning of the month when people have got slightly more time to stitch and probably do want to stitch Christmassy stuff. It just felt a bit weird. The second pattern, when I first looked at it, I did not like it at all. When I've seen it stitched up, it's grown on me. And I do think it's a really pretty pattern. So it's like a doorway on a house, but it just looks really odd to me because it's just the doorway rather than the house. Like, there's not the front of the house. If it was the front of the house and the doorway and all the pretty Christmassy bits, I think I would think, oh, that's really lovely. But it just looked like it was like zoomed in on one part and it didn't make sense to me. But having seen it stitched, I actually think it's very, very pretty and I think people are really going to like it. It just isn't for me. The snow globe, I think, is adorable. I don't know if I'll have time, if I'm going to stitch it. I don't know if I'm going to put it in my rotation or not for this year, but I do think it's really, really pretty and it is something that I would stitch. So that's my honest reviews. I'm never going to lie. I think it's quite fairly fair. I think the patterns are going to be liked by a lot of people though. It's just that I feel like I've outgrown them. And I like to stitch some things that are a little bit more, not complex, but just, I don't really know how to like word it correctly, but I just prefer different patterns now. And that's okay. Like, you learn more about what you like and you start developing different likes to different things, and that is absolutely fun. So I won't be getting it next year. I think there's some lovely bits in it and I really will miss the needle minders because the needle minders are beautiful, but you can buy them like 6 months later anyway, so that's probably what I will do. But for any beginners, I think you will really, really like this advent calendar. And I mean, I had it 3 years on a trot and I really liked it, especially when I was a beginner. And last year, or now, so 2023 advent, was the first time that I actually stitched on even weave, and I do think it is lovely that they include 14 count, 16 count and even weave, so they are actually giving their stitches a good choice, which maybe other boxes don't, that they just maybe stick to Ada because it's like a standardized thing, and I don't really enjoy stitching on Ada anymore. Some products I will stitch on Ada, but more often than not I'm going to switch it out to even weave. So it's nice that they include that, and the bit of even weave that you got for the polar bear is beautiful. that's kind of what makes me tempted to stitch it, to be honest, because the even weave is lovely. So like I said, in 23 box I learned how to even weave because we had Eddie the elf, and I was able to like learn from that pattern because it was quite a basic pattern. Everything was close together, so it was just nice. So if you want to like develop techniques and stuff, it's a great box, and it might be one for you. So yeah, definitely check it out. I think the patterns are probably nicer than they were the year before, so they're definitely getting better, and they're definitely listening to feedback. So yeah, definitely if you are like I said, a beginner, you probably will really like it. So yeah, check it out, and I think it probably goes on sale from January to last year. So now brings us to, so we've only got 2 more left now, and I'm already 30 minutes in, so not so short as I thought it was going to be. Anyway, so we have Bothy Threads. So Bothy Threads was £109.98. It included 5 kits, 15 stitchy items and 4 non-stitchy items. So I'm going to share with you my faves. So let me just make sure I've got these all. I loved this little tin. Now I'm just a sucker for a little tin anyway, but this is just so pretty, and like all the little details in, and you can keep so much stuff in there, like especially if you're going traveling, just stick like needles and bits and pieces in there, like needle thread or whatever, and you've got like a little tin to take with you. I also love this, and I think it's really well designed and just like a good quality gift. I mean, I've never received anything like that before in an advent calendar, so it was lovely. And then the day one gift, yeah, which was this beautiful needle thread. I thought it was amazing for a day one gift. Like, you want something that's like going to be like, amazing. And then for patterns, I mean, I liked most of the patterns, but this one I really want to stitch. And a friend of mine, Nikki, has already stitched this, and she showed it to me, and I was like, oh, I love it. So is this one. How lovely is that? So this is going to go into my rotation. I really enjoyed this one. Now, if I had to choose a least favourite, it was this day that we got these stickers and gift tags. And I think it's because these are to put on presents for other people, and the advent box for me. So I personally would like a gift that's for me, and that might sound really selfish, but I mean, I had a really like uneasy year, shall we say, and I wanted to buy the advents for myself to make sure I had a really good Christmas. So for me, the advents are like something special for me. And you know, when you get gifts that are like for someone else in your advent calendar, it just is a bit odd for me. They are really beautiful though. I mean, the robin is beautiful, look at that. And then you've got a lovely little nutcracker, and then the stickers are gorgeous, they're lovely, they are nice, but that's what I would say was my least favourite, and that's the reason why, because I would like a gift for myself rather than for someone else, if that makes sense. But all in all, I thoroughly enjoyed the Bothy Advent Calendar. It is one I would recommend to other people. I think that's all I've written for my notes for it. I think you get a lot of kits for your money. And I enjoyed opening every day. It was beautiful. 4 non-stitchy items, I haven't written what they were, but one was a beautiful Christmas decoration. One was hand cream, which again I've said, like, I like having hand cream because I work in NHS, and also, like, you know, you are really you're working with your hands, so you want to keep them soft and stuff for stitching. We had a little sheepy placemat, I think we had as well, like a, not a placemat, like a cup mat. Can't remember what the other thing was. But yeah, I really did enjoy this advent calendar. And I would recommend it. I'm not sure I'll get it again next year. I'd love to, but only because there's just so many patterns in it, and I think I'm gonna have to limit what I what I buy and what I can do pattern wise. Like, I've got an idea of what I can stitch in December now. So when I do my planning for what I want to stitch, I'm going to take that into mind. So I think I need to like really look hard about what advent calendar is. So Bothy's not a flat out no for next year. He definitely is in the running, but is not a definite. And the reason would be just for patterns, basically, because I've got so many. Like, I'm not going to get through the patterns that I've got now next year based on what I'm looking at with my whips and my current whips, and also my, like, I think I've got 30 patterns that I really want to try and stitch, and I'm never going to get those 30 patterns done. So to try and squeeze more in, I just think it would be like ludicrous to add more into the mix. So it's a we'll see. If I do get it though, they have an option where you can just buy the presents that you then put in the bags that you've already got. So it's like a bit of a recycle thing. So if I get it, and that makes me more tempted to get it actually, then that's what I'll do. I'll buy the refills. So yeah, a lovely advent calendar. Definitely recommend it. Really thoroughly enjoyed it. Is on the maybe list for next year. So finally, we will come to Evertotes. So Evertotes is not an advent calendar as you know it. It is marketed as a holiday countdown, and it contains 25 pattern pieces plus 25 skeins of floss and 2 bonus patterns. But also we had other things like the Christmas decoration and needle minder, the thread holder, which, remember, famously I did not know what it was to begin with. I actually thought it was a biro pen insert. I had to have people tell me what it was. I've never seen one like that before. So we had those. We also had hot chocolate. We had, I think we had like a Werther's, it wasn't a Werther's, but it was like that, a candy cane. We had some tea as well. Like randomly put in, like, and I thought that was really lovely touch. What can I say? So I'm going to show you. So obviously on day 24 I had filmed ahead of time, so I filmed that on the 23rd rather than the 24th because I knew that my Christmas Eve was too busy to be able to film. So I'm going to show you my like fully finished Evertotes, because it is fully finished now, and I have got a picture of it up on Instagram if anyone is interested. But there we go. I absolutely adore it, and I'm gonna frame it, and I'm gonna put it in my bedroom because I just love it so much. And you can actually purchase this pattern now. I think it's called Yule Dance. Now, I asked Jacob about these girls because these ones here, you see. So I said to him that they really reminded me of St. Lucy, and were they supposed to be St. Lucy? And what he said is originally he had intended them to be, but what he had designed he didn't like for it, so instead he turned them into Yule dancers. So I was right in that they were giving me those vibes, and he obviously had those vibes in his mind too, and I really like them, and the controversy of the headless cheerleaders will forever stay in my mind. Now, also on that day, I said that there was no pattern piece, and there was. It was just that we had a new pattern, like a bonus pattern, and it was kind of stuck together, so I thought it was just the bonus pattern. I don't know what was going on there. So there obviously was an extra piece. There is 25 different pattern pieces. And yeah, so I'll show you the skeins. Look at all those beautiful colours. Turn it around there. Look. They're just absolutely gorgeous. And like, obviously I've got loads left, so this can be for other projects, which I already have something in mind for. So we won't talk about that just now. And really, what can I say about this? For me, this holiday countdown, which is a stitch long really, it made my Christmas. I literally spent the entire of December discussing it with friends, analysing it with friends, like watching the videos from both Caroline and from Jacob. And it was just, like Laura has already said, a complete immersive experience. And I thoroughly enjoyed myself. It was just so much fun. It's been fun to discuss with you guys. It's been fun to discuss with my friends. It's been fun listening to the Instagram like rumbles about it. It was just fun. That's all I can say. And I've enjoyed learning about new things. I particularly enjoyed one of Jacob's videos about why we associate reindeers with Christmas, and all of the like the monsters of Christmas, basically, like the Yule Goat and all that. And it led me to do my own research on different like folklores and stuff like that surrounding Christmas. I just found it so interesting, and like I said, an immersive experience. I got to like stitch a piece of the puzzle every single day. That was fun to see like what's coming next. And like the whole like thing with the headless cheerleaders, like, are they gonna have hats? Like that was a running thing for a good few days. It's just been wonderful. And I got a beautiful pattern at the end of it. I got 25 skeins of floss, which are amazing. And it was just worth the money. Now, money. Where have I put my notes? Oh, I don't know where I've put my notes now. Oh, I think, here we go. Sorry about that. So, this calendar cost £152.11 plus shipping. So the shipping was £16.14, which brought it to £168.25. Now this was by far the most expensive advent that I bought. And I bought this out pretty late as well. Not late, but like I bought it in September. Basically, I had gone to the Big Stitch. I had met Jacob. I already knew of Jacob, but I wouldn't say I was a fan at that time. But I fell in love with his work. He's just an incredible man to begin with. So knowledgeable, so kind and lovely. And I just fell in love with his work. And like samplers and things like that, because the way he explains it just made me really interested. I'm always like history anyway, so it just sparked an interest basically. So I was umming and ahhing about getting this one, and then I decided just to go for it, and I am so glad I did. And to be honest, if this advent calendar was, you know, twice as expensive, I probably would still buy it, because like I said, it wasn't just the advent calendar, it was the experience that went with it. So yeah, so I would recommend this, and I am most certainly getting it for next year, or for this year, for the 2025 advent box or holiday countdown. I will be getting it. So yeah, so that is that concludes my advent review. Definitely isn't a short one, like I said I thought it would be. Obviously you can talk a lot more about it. I hope you've enjoyed this. I want to thank everybody for you know, their comments on the YouTube videos itself, for entering the giveaway, for messages I've been getting on Instagram. It's all been so lovely and positive, and it's just been, you know, such a nice place to be in the Stitchy community and the FlossTube community as well. And I do appreciate all your support. I've loved the advent calendars. I've loved doing Flossmas. I really miss it. Can't wait for next year. We'll be doing it again. And I really urge anybody who's sat on the fence of doing Flossmas, please join in. You will not regret it. You will love it. Yeah. So take home will be, I definitely intend to get Evertotes and Historical Sampler for next year. I probably will only be doing 3 advent calendars next year. And I already think that I will be getting Laura's from Cotton and Clay. I think she's going to plan to do a advent calendar next year, and I think that will be the third. So I've actually enjoyed all of the advent calendars. They've all been good in their own ways. So I hope that you've been able to take what you want from them and to help you decide what you want to get next year. They always come back bigger and better. I don't know how they possibly can in some of their some of the instances. I don't know how, but they always do. So yeah, definitely go buy some nice advent calendars for yourself for next year, and hopefully join me in Flossmas. Take care. I will see you very soon for a video on updates and stitchy plans for 2025. Happy New Year, everybody. Bye.